Shining, shining like a diamond. I see people watching. Perfect, hourglass time.
Ciao Team Bella, welcome to the channel. It's me, your girl, Mrs. Thinking of a Master Plan, or my real name is Miranda. For those of you who don't know, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited to be here today because that time is upon us, guys. Like, it is already time for us to pick out our 2024 planners. And I just want to share a few tips with you guys, or things that I've learned along the way during my years of planning. So I want to start out with the caveat of saying that this is my experience. These are my opinions on how these various layouts or even various brands of planners worked for me. So let me start by saying that. So there's going to be two parts to this video. So first part is just going to be me here chatting, and we're going to talk about tips that I think that will help you in your choices, because we will be buying these planners very soon. I know the Happy Planner will have their release, and most of the planners that I have experience with, it's going to be the Happy Planner. It is what it is. So we'll be talking about how those layouts work for me. Tip 1, do not be afraid to try different layouts. You don't know what will work for you until you actually try it. Because sometimes you can just say, let's say the dashboard layout. It looks like in theory it may be a good layout for you, but when you get in it, you may find yourself like with a creative block. You can't decorate, you can't figure it out, you don't really like it. So don't be afraid to try out different layouts. That's my first piece of advice. Secondly, if there's an extension pack that's available, or maybe even a printable that you can get for that specific layout that you can try prior to the new year or prior to purchasing your planner, I would encourage you to do so. That is the most economical and most budget-friendly thing to do, is to try, and I'm going to try to hold my head down like this so that my glasses, I look kind of crazy, right? So that my glasses, you don't see the glare on my glasses. So I would advise you to try the new layout if it's available in a printable or an extension pack before the first of the year. That way you're not investing your money into something that you potentially do not like, okay? And last but not least, I only have 3 tips. Last but not least, set your budget, stick to your budget. So if your budget is $100, but you're a person like me and you need 1,000 planners, then you're going to have to figure out how to make those 1,000 planners fit in that budget, or really prioritize the layouts that you think that's going to make the most impact and that you're definitely going to use and you like it and it gets your creative juices going. Otherwise, don't do it. Don't step outside of your budget. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera around now, and I'm going to share with you some layouts that I like and that work for me, and some that maybe not so much. And I hope you guys enjoy. Chime in below. Let me know what are some of your layouts, or a layout that you think, based on my feedback, would work for me, that you'd like to see me try to plan it in one of those planners. So I already know I'm a disc-bound planner. I've tried Erin Condren. I've tried a Hobonichi or a fake Hobonichi Weeks. I've tried a ring binder system like an A5. I've tried the little Print Pressions planner, the binded one, the little small one that he had. So I've tried various layouts. I've tried the student layout, the teacher layout. I've tried the vertical lined, the new vertical lined. Like, do you guys remember the Glam Girl planner that came out, and it was a true vertical line? It didn't have that weird gray shaded box on top. I really like that layout. Like, that layout worked for me in terms of my faith planning, and it really worked. But I forgot where I was going with all of this. This is going to be a blooper. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, yes, So I know where I was going. So based on the feedback that I'm given, let me know, number one, what is your favorite planner layout and why? And then a layout that you think that I should try, or one that you haven't tried but you're dying to try. Okay, guys, I will see you in the video. Come join me. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in, and the first layout that I'm going to say doesn't work for me is the horizontal layout. Now, I do have this horizontal layout as a part of my Franken planner. So I really am going to give it the old college try for the rest of the year. Okay, so let's discuss some of the features of the horizontal. So this one is super neutral, but this is the horizontal layout, and it's definitely neutral as I stated. So the horizontal layout, it's for journaling. So I don't know, maybe next year I'll try it for journaling instead. I'm using a classic vertical for journaling this year. So I don't want to dislike the horizontal and write it off my list, but I can tell you I have been struggling. I'm currently using it as my daily scripture writing. So I use a Bible aid called the Daily Text, where it has a scripture. I normally write the scripture, and then it just does a synopsis of that scripture. And there's one for every day. So this, according to the Happy Planner, and I'm just reading this insert, it says our Happy Planner horizontal layout streams your journaling, mood tracking, memory keeping, and task tracking. So definitely that is what it's supposed to be good for, but I just think that it's hard for me because I like to decorate, right? And if I'm using it like for a journal or even daily scripture writing, I don't want to block these lines because I really need this real estate here to write my scripture. So maybe that's why it hasn't worked for me. Maybe it could work as a journal. I'm not sure. I'm going to give it the old college try for the month of September. I'm definitely going to go through, and I'm certainly going to try it for the rest of the year to see if it works. Sometimes you have to stick with stuff to see if it works. So there has to be a certain level of stick-to-itness. I think that this year for me, 2023, is a wash because so many things have been happening in my personal life, and I haven't been giving anything the old college try. So September, October, November, and December. So I have 4 months to see if the horizontal will make it to my 2024 lineup. So that is the horizontal and why it doesn't work for me. I see a lot of people doing plans. Kenya, she does it. Kendra, both use horizontals, and they have amazing spreads. But for me, not so much. So that's the horizontal. Another one, and I recently bought this. This is an 18-month planner, right? So I used this before, but I wanted to try it out again. I think my challenge is really trying to figure out what I'm going to use it for. Now, I've seen some people Franken plan it with a planner where they are taking all of this part, the front part, these pages, the monthly goals, the check it off, note to self, the habit tracker, the jotted down top priorities, using that in conjunction with a social media planner. And now that I look at it, it may be really good to incorporate with a fitness planner if you don't use the fitness layout. So this particular planner, let's see what the Happy Planner says this is good for. Let's see. The monthly layout, and I'm just reading this. It says plan ahead with monthly calendars and use the pages of bullet list to stay on track with your to-dos. Need something done? Organize list by category for meetings, assignments, bills, groceries, and more. And that is what it's for. So it's definitely for persons that are listers. And what I'm learning is that I'm not really a lister, because even in my current planner, if it's written down and I know that I've gotten it done, I'm not really good about checking things off. So this layout, of course, just has daily tasks for the month. So I guess you could technically just put a category. Maybe you can go through and you could put a colorful box up there, up top, for a category. And here's your to-dos in those categories for the month. Or I've seen other people use it to track their steps, and they will put a date here and they'll put their steps or their stats from their Apple Watch or their Fitbit or whatever. I've seen people use it in conjunction with their social media planners. So I'm just not really sure. I do like to take note that it has 2 pages at the end of the month. So I'm currently, it's currently in my Franken planner right now, but I can tell you I really have not been using it. But once again, I'm not a good gauge right now. So I'm going to give it once again the old college try for the rest of 2023 to see if it will be in my lineup for 2024. I mean, I want to be intentional with my money this year, and I just don't want to accumulate a bunch of planners that I'm just not going to use. Let's just be honest. I'm just not going to use them. So there's that. I'm working on that. So that again is that monthly layout. All right. So last but not least, now this planner, and this is not a new one, this is something I dug out of my stash, is this lined vertical planner. Now, when Glam Girl came out and the very first lined vertical, it was a truly neutral lined planner. For some reason, this shadowed box here, or first portion of this, I can't get jiggy with it. Like, I tried, this was my scripture writing journal. And as you can see, it just hasn't been used. And this was from 2022, but I was also going through some things then. But this is not one I can get with. The lines are definitely too narrow. It's not like the one we had in Glam with the Glam Girl. That is a truly lined vertical. The vertical boxes seem to be bigger, a little bit wider. And it was a truly lined situation. So this one is a vertical planner, and I think that theoretically I probably could use it, but I just did not enjoy using it at all. Like, if I flip through here, I did not use it. I didn't use it. I used note pages. So here's an example of a week where I tried to use it and I only used it one day. I decorated, I do like these florals all along the ends of this, the edges of this, but as you can see, I only used it this one day. I feel like my writing is very cramped, and I just didn't enjoy it as a whole. But I mean, for some people, it may be their zhuzh. I think that if you use it as an hourly planner, if you're an hourly planner, that certainly could work for you. You could put the different times there. But this shaded box, to me, this is not a true lined vertical planner. You know, happy planner style, because I equate that with Glam Girl, and this is just not that. So I did not enjoy using it, and yeah, and I had to like Franken plan it with a vertical layout for it to even really work for me. And as I just shared, you know, I'm not doing great with my vertical with my horizontal right now. So I paired these two to try to make a situation and make it a faith journal for me to work, but it didn't work for me. So, you know, this is a typical vertical layout. I don't think that I don't have the little blurb that it gives you about a lined vertical planner. I don't know why this Simply Gilded sticker is on there, but that's neither here nor there. We're definitely talking about the planners. Another planner that I can share with you, the layout that didn't really work for me either, was the Skinny Classics. I don't even have anymore, but I do have the size, and this is a Notepad. This is a one of the one that came in a Be Happy box. This is your year Be Happy box. And I was doing like Hobonichis, and I was trying to write it in, but I just can't gain the concept. It's too long to put in my purse to take as an on-the-go planner, so it never worked for me in that regard. I've tried to use it as a like a health journal, tracking my symptoms and everything of my autoimmune disease, and that didn't work for me either. But I see a lot of planner babes using the Skinny Classic. And another one that just didn't work for me was that Skinny Mini. Oh my God, what a waste. I tried to make it work. I could not. And that is kind of where I am. The dashboard layout. So I didn't show myself doing this because this is my layout of choice. This is the one that I use every week. Some of the things that I like about it is that On the left side of the planner spread, I can put as much deco there as needed, depending on what I have going on. And I think it's very versatile in terms of if I need to change those boxes for anything, I am able to do that. Then if we go over to the right side, that is just enough room for me to put anything that I have going on in terms of a catch-all planner. It's not too much room. There's no unused room there. I'm able to use it. Now, if I think about a con of the dashboard side, from some perspectives, you're kind of limited in how you're going to decorate that side, that right side. I mean, you can use larger boxes, but I've gotten creative. I've taken a full-size box, and where it goes vertical, I've turned it horizontal. I've used checklists. I use bullet points. I don't use a lot of quotes in it, but I definitely feel like this is my layout of choice. If I had to get rid of all other layouts, I would be totally happy with just being in this dashboard planner. Truth be told, I could probably just take a blank piece of paper and use it for other things, like a blank piece of paper I could use for my social media and just pop it in there, or even like the Simply layout, put the Simply layout within this dashboard layout. I've been experimenting with that a little bit for my social media purposes. So here is the dashboard, and I love this one. The teacher layout is absolutely perfect for my fitness planner. I'm still using it. I'm enjoying using it. I like to decorate it. This is an older spread, of course, but as you can see, I redated. I put my categories, and it's absolutely magnificent. The lines do not bother me. This is a great planner for fitness. I've seen people use it as their catch-all planner. On the left hand side there in the sidebar, they label different categories for various things. So one could be for, I see, household, and then maybe one for each child, and then social media, budget, all those things in one planner. So this is a great option, I do believe, for a catch-all planner, or as I'm using it, for a wellness/fitness planner. Another layout that is still working for me would be the vertical layout. Now, this is a checklist layout, but it is essentially a vertical layout as well. And I'm currently using the vertical as my journal planner, or I'm using it for journaling, and I'm telling you, I've been consistent with it ever since I told you guys that I was back on the planning wagon. I just haven't shared it, but certainly the vertical works for me. I started my very first planning in a vertical, so it just makes sense. I think that my mind works vertically. So yeah, the vertical planner is still a part of my lineup, and it's one that I actually enjoy. I like it because you can do morning, noon, and morning, midday, and evening in the boxes, or if you want to use one for, household, budget, social media, you can do those things. And then the sidebar will afford you the opportunity to do a summary of your plans, or habit trackers and things like that. So yep, definitely a fan of the vertical layout. My final spread that I'd like to share with you guys is this daily layout. Now, I'm currently using this layout for my work planner. And I feel that because I'm using this layout, I am super productive. Not only can I identify my priorities for the day, I also list out other things that I can get done. Of course, if I get my top 3 priorities completed, I also record my meetings here from my Outlook calendar. Every morning I put all my meetings there, and then I've started to use it to jot down important key notes from conference calls that I'm on. So this layout totally works for me, and I definitely do not see it going anywhere anytime soon, because it totally works for me. And something that my counselor told me, or my therapist told me, is that planning daily helps reduce anxiety. So if if you're an anxious person, or if you have any anxiety disorder, this will actually be a great way to help you work through some of that anxiety. So yeah. All right, guys, so that completes my tips and my feedback on various layouts. But let's just review the 3 tips that I gave in the beginning. Do not be afraid to try different spreads. Definitely not. You don't know what you like until you probably get in there and touch it and feel it and try to decorate in it if you're a decorative planner, or even planning functionally in those spreads. Number 2, if there's an extension pack or a printable available for that layout, that is definitely an economical way to try out different layouts without fully committing to a whole planner of this layout. And last but not least, whatever budget you set, stick to your budget. So try to make a budget that is realistic and that does fit what you're trying to do. Like for me, it's unrealistic that I set $100 budget. That's not going to get me all the planners that I would like to put in my Franken planner. And even though I am scaling it back this year, I definitely still will set a budget. And and I can walk you guys through how that process looks for me. If you're interested, please comment below. Let me know if you want to see how I'm going to set my budget for not only my planners, but my sticker books for the upcoming 2024 planner year. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the tips were helpful. And if so, don't forget the 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Ciao Bella.